going into this game now against the Titans in London, I mean, could we just look at this as maybe like a clean slate, a fresh start? They're going over there to foggy old London town. They're so frustrating right now.
Yeah, do you want me to pause so Scott can play some highlights of the Orioles and then maybe the fourth quarter of the Terps game? Or, I mean, what else does Scott want to throw in there for us? But, no, look, this feels like anytime you run into the Titans and their pass defense, it feels like a get-right game for the offense. The weird thing is, coming into the game last week, the Ravens hadn't dropped the pass, and then all of a sudden, depending on which outlet you're looking at, they dropped 7 or 8. And it's just a crazy game, but I do feel like it should be a get-right spot. They're getting healthy at the right time, as healthy as I guess you could be. But they're going to play on that turf, which looks just awful. I wouldn't even want to play on it. But, yeah, look, I think this team, there's a lot of pieces that they have that are in place. They should be 5-0, and I know everybody's going to go would be, should be, could be, all that stuff, but it really does fall on the coaching staff. I mean, they're one timeout away from telling a returner not to go for a fair catch because they put 3 seconds on the clock. And also whatever the hell you want to call it last week where they just beat the crap out of the Steelers and the Steelers won the game. So, I mean, it was just some weird anomalies this year, but I feel like we're used to seeing that from a Ravens team that's always trying to figure out what their identity is actually going to be.
And if you missed it, Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift did share a hug after that last connection.
You know, I want to credit Al Michaels for not mentioning that once. You continue to contribute to the problem, my friend. You are the problem.
Let me
Hi,
help.
it's you.
Let me
You're
help.
the problem.
Let me help. I told everybody to live bet this West Virginia-Houston game.
Yeah.
Live bet the over again. Both of these quarterbacks doing nothing but throwing vertical go routes down the field. It's like when you are in the 3rd grade and you're playing your buddy in Madden and all you guys run are Hail Marys the entire time.
Over and over again, or playing.
That's what we got right here. And now Houston's looking to drive and punch one in.
Now at this point, this is why you just don't bet the Broncos at all. I think that's a great idea. You're welcome for the content idea, guys. I think it'll be great.
I was already going through some anger things today. I'm going to break so many things when I get home tonight.
This is why
if I don't
suggest
win this
a rage room. A rage room for this show would be fantastic. I want to break things. We could get it sponsored.
If I don't go home rich tonight.
That idea is trademarked by me, by the way,
angry.
so if anybody steals it and any other show has it, I will call you out ruthlessly every single day in every place that I can. That is my idea.
The Broncos are being gifted a cover here tonight, right?
I know. I'm with you in the second half, man. I'm all you. I'm Team Broncos.
I want
to see you leave here happy.
I see our boy Mario live tweeting the Chicago Bulls preseason right now, and I'm a little worried about him. I said, I know you just got to Chicago and you're moving from Indianapolis, but we don't do this. And we don't get excited for the preseason. I can tell you how the season ends.
Yeah.
43 wins.
Uh-huh.
You got a 3-point lead on the Heat in the play-in game, you blow it. No reason to watch the season.
There you go.
It's like my grandpa with the movies. There's your spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Stu's the killer. Do you like the Rangers or the Astros?
I got to go with the Rangers right now, and I'll tell you why. Like we've heard, or Cody Decker and I were talking about this on Bet for the Cycle last Saturday. We hear the cliche, playoff baseball is won by pitching, right? Won by pitching, won by pitching, won by pitching. It's not entirely true. Like, obviously, that's going to help you win any game. But I think, and you can look right now at the Phillies, and they are getting some good help out of Wheeler and Nola, both guys that have been monsters so far. But I think playoff baseball is won by good pitching and timely hitting. And this is a Ranger offense that, for whatever reason, a lot of people forgot that before Atlanta really kind of hit that explosion about a third of the way into the season, Texas was the best offense in baseball, at least if you look at run differential, for a very long time.
Yeah.
They really are, I think, arguably the most balanced team still standing. I thought the Dodgers sweep was wild. I love the Diamondbacks. They're a fun team to root and pull for, but I think at some point that tidal wave is going to recede a little bit. I like the Astros a lot, but I just think the Rangers at this point have showed they are not going to fold offensively at any point. So I actually really like the Rangers in that series. I think it's going a full 7, but I think they've got enough on both sides of the plate to get it done.
Rob, we heard the Dan Lanning clip coming back from the break here, and I mean, listen, you got Oregon and Washington this weekend. The Pac-12 has been, I mean, it's like this last gasp before they're the Pac-2 or whatever they become next year, and you're watching just like the best the conference has been, and I don't even know how long at this point. 2 great offenses, but then Oregon on the defensive side of the football is also, I mean, they're really strong. Like, when I go into this game, like, it feels to me, knowing the quarterbacks and the offenses you have there, it feels like an over. Is that the right side to be on, or do you look at maybe that Oregon defense and say that there's a way that could be the difference maker, and maybe you lean under a little bit in this one?
I'm honestly leaning on the under,
Okay.
and I think you can. I think you can look at Oregon's defense. This is the most balanced team, arguably, of the Pac-12 contenders. Now, fun discussion point. I told somebody the other day. I think if this season happens in the Pac-12 in 2015, we're not going through this conference realignment right now, right? Like if this season happened 7 years ago, the Pac-12 is arguably still staying intact. So that makes it fun. But as far as this game goes, I really do like Oregon's defense. And I know a lot of folks are throwing, well, wait a minute, Rob, like Colorado was way down to USC, and then they put up 41 towards the end to catch back up. And it's like, yeah, but didn't we all know that USC's defense is trash? Like, we saw that every week USC's played. Colorado's good, and they're getting Travis Hunter back. That's a big pickup. He's going to give them a couple of deep ball shots here. And that's not to say I don't think Colorado can score, but, man, I go back and I look at that 6 they put up a couple of weeks ago. If USC had any semblance of a defense, they probably stop in the 20s. Oregon's very good, and I think the other part that I've got to look at with Oregon is there comes a point for the Ducks who can run the football. Second half, if they do what USC did and they end up going up by 21 or 24, they're going to start pounding the rock. They're going to start running the ball. They're going to start taking, precious seconds away from what Colorado wants to do to start going deep and taking shots late to catch back up. So I think because of that, you're going to get a very similar game to, what Oregon did a couple of weeks ago, in that they're going to kind of blow the scoreboard open in the first, and then I think the second half just slows down dramatically with an Oregon ground game. So I'm a slight lean on the under because of that, but then again, it is Deion Sanders, and who the hell knows at this point.
One of the games I'm really excited for coming up on Saturday is Miami, North Carolina. I'm excited to see Tyler Van Dyke, even though he's coming off a really poor game. Always excited to watch Drake May, especially now that Tez Walker is able to play football. But who do you trust more? You got Miami a 3.5-point dog. So do you trust that doofus, Mario Cristobal, who doesn't know how to take a knee? Or do you trust Mac Brown, who's celebrating his 105th birthday coming up on Wednesday?
I'm glad you brought up Mario Cristobal, fellas, and thank you for having me on to ask me questions. Now I'd like to ask you one in regards to Mario Cristobal, and here's my question. It's as eloquent as I can possibly put it. What the hell? What?
Yeah.
What?
Like,
What's that? Listen, I don't think it matters. Like, I think Miami could have the game of the year. I think North Carolina's that good. I really do. I think Drake May's that good. You saw that Georgia Tech was able to move the ball up and down the field on him. And by the way, Tez Walker's back, and it's Tez Walker's second week, so he's had a week to condition. He's had a week to get his timing and chemistry down. I know everybody was excited for Tez Walker to come back. I know I certainly was last week for Carolina. But this is the week where he actually comes back as a football player, right? Last week he came back as a guy. Hey, welcome back to the team. Good to have you. I know he's been with the team and paying attention. But at the end of the day, you can't replicate building that chemistry with your quarterback like you can when you play. And I think we're going to see a breakout from that guy. So I really like North Carolina in this game. I think Miami and Mario Cristobal showed last week that while they are pointed in the right direction, for a team full of guys that quit on their head coach last year, and for a team full of guys that none of them looked at Mario Cristobal. I know it's your head coach, but none of y'all looked and went, Coach, if we kneel, we win. You're aware of this, right? Like, I don't trust that team, and I very much do trust the heel. So I am all over North Carolina. That's one of my favorite bets of the weekend.